evening and good night to some of you. This is a very special broadcast, and of course, we must pray. And prayer we must, this very evening and always going forward. And I will pray in the language of heaven, because Chukwukika Biama is in control of all that we have been doing and will continue to do until Biafra is restored and all the suffering indigenous populations in the damnable zoological republic are set free. Chineke na nke pụrụ ihe niile Chukwukika Biama ya ndefe na aja aha nsọ ya mma mgbe niile. Onye ọbụla na ya na-achị eluigwe n'ụwa na-agba akaebe ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị amara gị n'ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị na-eze ebede ngọzi. Anyị wee na-etoghị agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro. Iwe nye anyị ndụ ala nke dị n'uwe n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-asị na ịja mma niile otu niile dịrị aha nsọ gị. Onye ọ bụ naanị aka ike niile na ọ gbadara aka ya. Anyị wee na-akpọku gị na-asị gị na nke ọma anyị ga-ekele gị, nke ọjọọ ma anyị kelee gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, wee na-etoghị, wee na-asọpụrụ gị n'isi ụmụ gị niile bụ ndị ikwu ndị wee eziokwu mgbe a kpọrọ ha ka ha wee chekwaa ala nsọ gị bụ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na ihe n'ikwuru anyị nkwa na o mekataghị ka ndị iro wee were ala nsọ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe. Agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro ma ndị na-agba mgbọgba ebe niile dị iche iche onye nwe m na Chineke nna ihere bụ nke ndị dị etu a n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-etoghị, wee na-asị onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-azọpụta, onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na ọtụtụ na ịja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise ise ise.
Welcome, 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 wonderful people. Welcome, amazing Biafrans. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you all that have connected. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining wherever you are joining from across the world. If you are joining from Africa, Asia, Europe, America, Australia, Canada, more especially Biafra land. If you are joining from Biafra land, I really appreciate you. I thank you for joining. And I say, may Chukwukika Biama continue to guide and bless you. Yes, it's another day of victory, another special day of victory. They can't stop us. They are trying their best to see if they can be able to stop us, but they can't stop us. As you can see, another day of victory, and the seat at home is on high speed. Biafrans are taking responsibility of their freedom. Biafrans are taking responsibility, making sure that we free ourselves. We don't have to wait for anybody to free us from any angle. We have to free ourselves, and that is exactly what we are doing. Biafrans, they have shown once again that we really, really need our freedom. It doesn't matter what anybody is saying. It doesn't matter what anybody is trying to push out there. The most important thing and what matters is the freedom of Biafrans. That is number one. It comes first before any other thing. And we are going ahead to take our freedom. We cannot allow anybody to play with our freedom. We cannot allow anybody to cajole us to sell our birthright. And we cannot continue to beg for our freedom from our enemy. No. We have to take our freedom by our own self. And that is exactly what the Biafrans are doing today. Against all odds, you see Biafrans, they are coming out to sit at home. They are participating fully in the sit at home. See people participating. That shows you that we care so much about our loved ones. We care so much about our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has been detained in the DSS for doing nothing. He was kidnapped. and they are detaining him illegally. We are demanding for his unconditional release, and also the release of other Biafrans that are being held captive in different places. So many Biafrans are being held captive in different faces, in different angles, and we cannot be silent. It doesn't matter what anybody is saying. It doesn't matter the language anybody is using. We will make sure that our brothers who are in captivity are being freed. We are expecting the freedom of our student Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and when he's coming out a lot of Biafrans who are being held captive. So many Biafrans are being held captive for not committing any offense. They never kidnapped anybody. They never killed anybody. They never fought against anybody. But simply because they are demanding for that which is theirs, their own right. Self-determination. Self-determination, something that is being supported by the law of that contraption called Nigeria. Their own law supports self-determination. But ask me, why do they now criminalize that thing which is in their own law? Why did they criminalize it? They kidnap Biafrans, kill Biafrans, simply because they are asking for that which is theirs. Simply because they are asking for their right. Why do you have to kill anybody? For following the rule of law, self-determination. It is so sad. It's a very sorry situation. But where I have the major problem is those people who call themselves politicians and elites. Those people who call themselves politicians and elites, they have sold the ordinary people. They sold our rights and they are still selling it. Politicians in the southwest, in the southeast, the present south, all over, including the north. They sell the right of their people and make sure that they subject their people into poverty and penury. And they don't stop at that. After doing that, they make sure you don't complain. They make sure you don't give your opinion. They make sure you don't speak up. You don't even cry out. It is so sad. It is very, very sad, a very sad situation. This is what we are going through in the contraption called Nigeria. And how long shall we continue to embrace this? How long shall we continue to tolerate that? We can't continue. It doesn't matter what anybody is thinking. But I thank God that so many people are standing up to make sure they air their opinion and make sure the right thing is being done. So many people have been enslaved. So many. But thank God for it. Against all odds, against all manipulation from those who call themselves elites, you can see the ordinary people, the Biafrans, are still standing, participating fully in the seat at home, in their opinion, which is the right thing to do. At least there are still some people who are sensible. We are not expecting that everybody is going to join, because in every 12 there must be a Judas. But at least there are still some good percentage of people who care about the ordinary people and who will not allow their birthright to be taken away, who will not allow their voice to be silenced. All the Biafrans is asking for is just for justice. Justice, that's what they're asking for. Is it too much to ask for justice? For me, I think it's not much to ask for justice. Somebody asking for justice for what belongs to him, give them that which belongs to him. They are not asking for something that belongs to someone else, but asking for something that belongs to them. But it is so sad that instead of listening to them and granting them their desire, what the government do is to turn around and begin to kill those people who are speaking up for what is right. And today the symbol of justice is being held captive by the Janjaweed in their so-called DSS. And some people feel it's okay. Some are trying to discourage us from iron or opinion. Some are discouraging us, trying to discourage us from making contributions. You can't discourage us. The fact remains that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not committed any crime known to man. And there is no court in the planet Earth that have committed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because he committed no crime. All he was asking is the freedom of his people. Let my people go. And he's not asking that you should let his people go through violence. He is asking peacefully, through referendum, allow my people to go. Allow my people to go. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the only man who is speaking out for the people in the southeastern part of Nigeria, using the language that everybody will understand. He is not pretending about it. He's not talking against anybody, but trying to protect his own people. In extension, trying to protect other indigenous tribes in that contraption called Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has made a case for every indigenous tribe in Nigeria several times. And that's the reason why he's in captivity. He's not just fighting for himself. They are holding him because he has woken up ordinary Nigerians, those who were sleeping. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu woke them up. And today, people can no longer be deceived of the situation of things. People now know the situation of that contraption called Nigeria. It is no longer something that has to be played with. It's not longer something like it's not longer a joke, but a reality. For those who want to follow what is real and sincere to themselves, they know that every single thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is saying is the truth. And for those who feel that he is telling a lie, go and watch those of them who are coming on conventional media and what they are saying. You see people come on the conventional media. What they are going to tell you is that they are praying and looking forward to a Nigeria where everybody is going to be equal. A Nigeria where people will be respected. A Nigeria where the equal right will be respected and people will be treated equally. But tell me, is it possible to find that kind of Nigeria in the place we are seeing now? It is impossible. Ask me, why is it impossible? It is impossible because the constitution they are using supports the fact that nobody will be equal in that very country. People cannot be equal. The constitution they are using in Nigeria supports the fact that people will be treated differently from others. Their constitution supports that some people will be treated like second-class citizens and some will be treated like first-class citizens. That is what their constitution does. And they are not willing to throw away that constitution. Instead, they are protecting that constitution with every might and every strength they have. But the most sad part is that they have succeeded in getting hold of those people who are supposed to speak for ordinary people from other tribes, from other regions. The people who are supposed to be speaking for the ordinary people from the southeastern region, people who are supposed to be speaking for ordinary people from the southern region, people who are supposed to be speaking for ordinary people from the southwest region, they have now sold out. Instead of speaking for the people, they are defending the evil. They are defending the evil. Look at somebody like Keyamo, Festus Keyamo. Festus Keyamo used to be a human rights lawyer that so many people talked about. Festus Keyamo, he used to be a human rights lawyer. Today, look at how Nigeria have rendered him useless. Go and listen to his latest interview at Channels Television. Go and listen to Festus Keyamo, who called himself a son. Festus Keyamo, who called himself a son. Go and listen to him in his latest interview with Channel Television. Then you'll be sorry for Nigeria. Just pray that Nigeria doesn't happen to you. When Nigeria happens to you, first of all, what they're going to do is they will make sure they destroy your brain. You'll be thinking like an animal. They will destroy your brain. And why do they succeed in that destruction of brain? Do you know how they succeed? They succeed in the destruction of brains of people with that so-called quota system. It is that quota system that they are practicing that is supported by their law. That quota system is what destroys what you call, it is what destroys what the system you have. It destroys the system and make sure that it doesn't work. That quota system. In a quota system where you will see somebody who is not educated ruling the person who has been able to acquire every kind of education that he or she needs to be a leader. Instead of giving the position to the person who is qualified, the position will be given to someone who is not qualified and not worthy to be called a leader. And their constitution supports that. That is what marvels me. The constitution supports it. And there is no way, there's nothing you can do about that. They talk about quota system. You see somebody from the southern part of Nigeria, a very educated person, going to school, spending his time to acquire all the certificates in the planet Earth to make him qualified for any post that he or she is fighting for. Instead of giving that person that very post, what are they going to do? They will take that post and give to somebody from the north who was not even able to pass common entrance, wasn't able to get his WAEC result, wasn't able to get enough cutoff mark to get into the university, but was able to go there due to quota system. You find a person in charge. And that is what is happening in Nigeria, supported by the constitution. How can such a country grow? Tell me, just tell me, how can such a country grow? A country that supports everything that is evil. They never reward you for your good. They never give you a position because of merit. No. They give you a position because you belong to the people they call born to rule. A Fulani man who has not attended the four walls of the university can come out and begin to rule over the people who acquired education. An uneducated Fulani man can equally be a chancellor in a university. And nobody's going to challenge that. And people think it's okay. Somebody like Festus Keyamo will come out and support that. In a country where you have professors, yet these professors you have nothing to offer. You see a professor serving under somebody who doesn't have a primary school certificate, and he feels it's okay. When his people stand up to talk and say the right thing, he will join the enemy to fight against his people, simply because he's being paid one salary or the other. It is a shame. It is a shame that people in that very contraption called Nigeria have lost morale. Nigeria has made a lot of people to lose morale. There is no morality anywhere. It's immoral to see somebody who is qualified for a position, have all the certificates. Instead of giving that person a position, you will now go and take somebody who forged a certificate, whom you yourself know that this very person forged a certificate, but you don't care. Simply because the person is from your area, you don't care. Have you ever asked yourself, most of the time you see governorship candidates, each time governorship candidates come out, there will always be accusation of forged result and forged result. Even the recent Anambra State governorship election that happened, you see somebody that was being accused of forging result. That accusation is not a false accusation. It is true. So many of them are forging result. That is what Nigeria has made them to be. They forged the result. After forging that result, then they will use that result to go into the government, be given a job. And when such people are being employed in the government, in top offices, do you think they are going to fight for you? They will not fight for you. They will only fight for those person who is covering them up. All these people who you see as your rulers, who you see as your representative, who you see in the House Assembly, they all have black book. So many of them have one evil or the other in their hand. You hardly see somebody who is clean among them. Not even one. If you happen to see anyone that is clean that got a position, before you know it, they will throw him or her out. When they see the boldness in that person because the person is speaking the truth and doesn't look left or right before asking or requesting for anything, the next thing you're going to see is that they will throw the person out of the office. This is what is happening on a daily basis in the contraption called Nigeria, and people think it's okay. People feel it's right thing to do. They feel it's okay, and they are buying into it. It's happening every now and again. It continues to happen, and you think it's okay. Then when you see people who are standing up for the ordinary people, speaking the right language and telling the truth, instead of you giving them support, what you have to do is to demonize them. You channel your energy, the energy that you're supposed to use to fight against the enemy that have made you impoverished, that made sure that you don't have your rights. Instead of fighting those, what you have to do, you channel your energy against those who are fighting the right cause, including fighting those who are even fighting their brothers. You see what is happening today in the struggle for Biafra. When you see many of the people who are broadcasting and talking about the issues of Biafra, when you see the kind of headlines they put on their videos, you'll be wondering, what are they fighting for? You want to make a video about the freedom of the people, about the freedom of the people and the intimidation they are facing from the Janjaweed. But instead of you giving a topic on the evil that is happening or a way forward, you will use your own brother to make a topic. Use your own brother. You will use their name as a topic to demonize them and say all manner of evil against them. Listen to them, they have nothing to offer because their head is empty. The struggle for Biafra is no longer It's no longer a time when you use propaganda without confirmation of facts. It is no longer the time when you begin to tell lies or begin to demonize people. No, it has gone past that stage. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have succeeded in raising the struggle for Biafra to a greater level. The level that the struggle for Biafra is now is a level where intellectuals need to come in. The struggle for Biafra is no longer for touts. It's no longer for those who don't know their left and right. People who don't even know their history. You see them, they come and they use propaganda against their own brother, forgetting about the issue of the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or the issue of the freedom of Biafra. How can you write such a topic? When you see the headline, I don't even know why people still go there. When you see them, you still see people watching. You see a lot of people, you still see viewers there. What are you watching? Looking at the topic alone, you see a topic, somebody who is in the name of somebody who is struggling for Biafra, whom you have not seen anything wrong. He has not done anything wrong. It is all false accusation. False accusation. They will call this person name, they will take one person and begin to tear the person into pieces. The person will never speak anything about the struggle. He will never speak anything about the problem we are facing. Instead, they will channel their energy on fighting their own brothers. That is the damage the Janjaweed have done in the brain of an ordinary Nigerian. And that damage has affected so many Biafrans. When we are talking about the damage that Nigeria have done, Nigeria have done enough damage that even after we get Biafra, we have a lot of work to do. Even after we have gone home to Biafra, that is when we will have a major work to do. We cannot stop broadcasting. We will continue to call a spade a spade. There are a lot of evil. Nigeria has made the indigenous tribe to accept evil to be good. When you are doing something that is evil, so long it pays your bill, so long you are paying the bill of the community, so long you are giving money and dashing money to the people, they don't care. As long as your evil is reaching them on what they think is a positive side. This is the damage the Janjaweed have caused to the contraption called Nigeria. And it's affecting everybody. It's affecting everybody, every tribe. It doesn't matter your tribe. This thing is not about tribe. It affects everybody that has found himself under the chain of the Janjaweed. The British have really put us into a problem that we only can take ourselves out of it. You don't expect the person that put you into trouble to take you out of that problem. They can't take you out of it. It is you that will take yourself out of that problem. The British have placed us in a problem by allowing us to go along with this Janjaweed who doesn't want to improve themselves and they don't want others to improve. Sometimes when you blame the British also, you have to look home. You look home and you blame yourself. We blame the British for bringing the initiative, but you have to blame Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Blame Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe on that part, for Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe who has decided to wait for these Fulanese. Even when Awolowo called his attention, let us go and allow these people. They are not ready. The Fulanese said it. They said they are not ready. They want to remain with the British. But Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, thinking that he was dealing with human, not knowing that he was dealing with animals who doesn't want to improve. That same thing that they said that day, that they were not ready. They are not still yet, even up till now, they are not ready to run themselves. They are not ready to stand on their own. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe made that mistake. These people said it. That is why don't joke with anything you see the Janjaweed saying. Whatever they're saying, they're going to do it. It doesn't matter if it is correct or not. Anything you see their representative or all this their Northern Forum, whatever they say is their mindset and what they want to do. When they said it that they are not ready to get away from the British, they were not joking. They were not ready. They were not ready. They want to remain there and continue to serve. But the Biafrans and Odudua were ready to go home. Why didn't Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe listen to Awolowo and go? How I wish he lead. How I wish he listened. If he had listened, we will not be facing what we are facing today. Even if we are not rich, we will not be facing the kind of debt and terrorism we are facing today. We can't get that in the Southeast and the Southwest. But because you are waiting for them, these people who told you that they are not ready to be on their own, up to today, they are not still ready. That is why when you talk about breakup, they want to kill you. When you preach the message of breakup for people to be on their own, even being on their own is going to benefit them. They should be on their own arewa and use whatever Islamic lesson they want to use it on their own side. It is good for them. Build their arewa on that side. Anybody that comes there, you are looking for trouble. When you come there, you obey every of their law. Do whatever they want you to do. It will benefit them and it will make them to focus. It will make them to focus to develop themselves. to improve themselves and grow gradually. It will help them to compete in a healthy competition. But they don't want it. The Janjaweed never want it. All they want is to become a burden to every other person. They want to be a burden. There are so many mineral resources. Even in the north, they have mineral resources. They have mineral resources. They claim to have the largest landmass. Each time you see them talking, they tell you that they have the largest landmass, which is a lie. It's all propaganda. Okay, assuming you have the largest landmass, why don't you put those landmass to use? Even in agriculture, put it to use in agriculture. Even if you're not educated, even an uneducated person can be able to farm. Put it to use and be the basket food of the nation. Yet, you have landmass. You can't even feed your own state, let alone feeding the nation. You can't feed yourself, let alone feeding the nation. That is how lazy they are. They all depend on the mineral resources that are hidden on the ground. Mineral resources that are hidden on the ground, that God has placed on the ground. They just take it. That is what they want. They don't want to apply their brain. Our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said is that we are not dependent on oil. Oil is not our problem. What we are fighting for is our freedom, the ability to put our brain to use. The Janjaweed, they are damaging our brain. Nigeria is damaging the brain of the many people in the southern part of Nigeria. A country that damages your brain and makes you to be thinking like a fool. After acquiring so many education, look at professors. Look at professors. So many professors, you see them parading papers as professors in Nigeria. Professors that have nothing to offer. You are a professor, yet somebody who doesn't have a WAEC result is your leader, and you accepted it. Even if for the fact that that thing was mentioned that he doesn't have it, there was no investigation made. There was never a time we got, even they went to the instead of getting a fake one to present. Yet we have those people who claim to be professors. And the most shameful one is that a professor and a pastor is serving under that idiot. That is why our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, when you see somebody from Nigeria telling you that he or she is a professor, it's better to give that person a dirty slap and shut that dirty mouth. Because no Nigerian deserves to be a professor. Not even one. None of them is supposed to be a professor. Go and check the interview that was granted to Festus Keyamo in Channel Television yesterday. Just yesterday, the interview that was granted to him. Look at the nonsense he was speaking. Look at the nonsense, the way he was turning the law upside down, just to satisfy his own selfish interests. Supporting the fact that nobody was killed in Lekki Toll Gate. This is something that everybody knows. We saw it. It was streamed live. It was streamed live, just as how we are doing live stream. The very killing that happened in Lekki Toll Gate, it was streamed live. DJ Sweet streamed it live. It is still online. They saw it. We saw people bleeding. But yet, they are denying. Up to the extent of shamelessly coming and say that even the person, only one person that he admitted that died, that the gun, that the bullet that was removed into the body, it wasn't the military bullet. No, it's not the military bullet. It is my bullet. It's not a military bullet. Somebody who called himself SAN, Senior Advocate of Evil. Festus Keyamo, Senior Advocate of Evil. And they say he's a minister in that same government. Because you are getting your salary from the blood of the innocent, because the blood of innocent is paying your bill, you don't care about what any other person is saying. You don't care about the value of life. You no longer care, you don't really care what happens, as long as your salary is coming. Even when your own people is dying, even when the law they are passing is against you, even when the argument is against you and your family, you don't care. This is the damage the Janjaweed have caused in the brain of every ordinary Nigerian. Everybody. It affects everybody. The brain, even in Biafra land, people's brains are damaged. People's brains are damaged. That is why you will see somebody who claims to be representing his people. Your people said they want to sit at home to make sure their own son is being released. Your people said that we want to sit at home until our brother is being released unconditionally. Shouting on top of your voice. Instead of you to come in solidarity with them or speak along with them, you demonize them. You try to blackmail them about the economy. Blackmailing them about the economy. While you are blackmailing them about the economy, the same military is in southeastern part of Nigeria, destroying anything that has to do with the economy in southeastern part of Nigeria. They have militarized the southeastern part of Nigeria that people cannot even go to school, can't go to work. People can't do their businesses freely. We are talking about economy. Every inch of every 1 kilometer in Biafra land, there is a checkpoint. And they are there extorting money. After extorting money from people and paying all those bills, don't you know that all those extortion affects the economy? All those extortion affects the economy. You bring your goods to Lagos State, spend 800,000 to import goods from China to Nigeria. But for you to take that goods from Lagos to southeastern part of Nigeria, you will spend millions. You will spend millions. And you think it's okay. You call yourself the representative of the people. You cannot fight them. You cannot speak up. And when they speak, you demonize them. A governor will come out and boast to invite military to kill his own people. A governor that is supposed to be standing for his people, speaking up for his people and defending his people, will come up openly and say that he is the one that invited the military to kill the ordinary people. And you think it's okay. You think it's okay. We said we want to sit at home. We sit at home until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being released. You told us you are going for political solution. We say, okay, go ahead with the political solution, but don't disturb us. We will continue whatever we are doing until we see the result of your political solution. You have not brought us results. You only made a promise. You didn't bring us results. You only went there and the promise was given to you. There was no result. And you are busy demonizing that thing that we are doing that is working at the first place. It is that sit at home that we are doing that motivated you to begin to speak for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is that same sit at home that motivated you, that made the Janjaweed to begin to put your foot on fire, that made you to begin to talk. Then, instead of you doing the right thing, coming out to protest openly with your people, that is what you're supposed to do. That is what you're supposed to do. I could remember during the time of the NSAS. During the time of NSAS, there was one governor that came out, stood with the people, and he was protesting with the people. Even though he might be pretending, even though that governor might be pretending, in Odudua land, maybe he might be pretending, but still, for the fact that he came out to protest with the people, he added a plus to the struggle. He added a plus to what people are doing. He added a plus. What am I expecting every well-meaning traditional ruler in Igbo land? What they are supposed to do, the traditional ruler and those people who call themselves elites, who want us to respect them and obey them, what they are supposed to do is to join the sit at home on Monday. Let it not be only sit at home. On Monday, they have to come out and protest with the people. That is what they're supposed to do. That is what they're supposed to do. You come out and march on the street with your own people. Come out and march on the street with ordinary people to show that you are concerned about them, to show that they are fighting the right cause, because what they are fighting is for the right thing. You are holding an innocent man that has not committed any crime. He has not committed any crime known to man. He has not committed any. No court on the planet Earth have convicted him. And this man was kidnapped from a foreign land, kidnapped and brought rendition into Nigeria. Extra rendition, a crime, a war crime. Yet, they are bringing this man to the court. It is not just bringing him to court. When they brought him to court, they couldn't allow him to speak. Neither do they want to attend to the issue. They keep on adjourning the case. It has gotten to the extent of even barring the lawyers from entering the court. They stopped the lawyers from entering the court. And when it got to that stage, that was when the lawyers begin to shout and begin to cry out. The lawyers begin to cry out and begin to shout. And it was only then and only then that people know that things are not normal. Then people started speaking and started asking for the normal thing to be done. Instead of you supporting them, what you are doing is to demonize them. Who in his right senses will be doing that? Who? Who? Somebody who was kidnapped. He didn't commit any crime. What crime has man committed? The most painful one is this man they are talking about. The military went to his house to kill him, and nobody is talking about that. Military, the same thing they did to Sunday Igboho. Exactly what they did to him was Sunday Igboho. They went to kill Sunday Igboho. They didn't issue any warrant of arrest. They just went to Sunday Igboho's house to kill him. Eventually, Chukwu carried and said Sunday Igboho, he escaped. And they killed 2 people. But to show you the difference about the Odudua brothers, the Odudua brothers were able to secure at least a winning for Sunday Igboho. Sunday Igboho has won his case in Odudua land, and 20 billion was awarded to Sunday Igboho. for the 2 people that was killed in his house and the house was destroyed. Sunday Igboho was awarded 20 billion. But in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, why hasn't that case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu been tried since then? Why is it that the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu were not able to win that case for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the case in Igbo land? And the case is being handled by a Biafran judge. Why is it that that Biafran judge cannot give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu justice? We are not asking him to play any game. Give him justice through the law of that contraption called Nigeria. We're not telling you to have pity or do anything. Go the normal procedure and grant Mazi Nnamdi Kanu justice for the people that were murdered in his house. Sunday Igboho, within a spate of months, Sunday Igboho got justice. Within a spate of months, even though he's still in captivity, which we know by the special grace of Chukwu Kariwa, he'll be out. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in whose house 28 people were killed. 28 people were killed in the home of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, including Jack, his dog. A home of a palace of a king, destroyed. Everything in it destroyed. Up to today, he has not gotten justice in that case. Even the case, nobody was even talking about it until recently. For how many years? Since 2017, up to now, how many years? Nobody's talking about it. This is the reason why you say, sometimes you begin to imagine and see, a judge in Biafra land cannot be able to give his own brother justice. You can't give him justice. And you are there, talking down on people who are doing something that is working. Tomorrow you come and tell me about political solution. You will tell me to stop sitting at home. When you have nothing, you can't even stand for me. You can't even do anything. The Southwest is far, far, far better. They are even more, far better than what you can even imagine. Instead, you see blackmail. Blackmail. We are even using the blackmail that the enemy is using against us. That is what we are using against ourselves. We are blackmailing ourselves, promoting the evil that the enemy is doing against us. We are promoting it and accepting that blackmail. In Biafra land, you see Biafrans blackmailing themselves, promoting the Janjaweed language. Promoting the Janjaweed language, something that you know that is even common with every human being. Something and a character that is applicable to every human being. You will try to attach it to Biafrans alone. You see Biafrans attacking themselves. You will see somebody who claims to be a Biafran from Biafra land be talking down on the Igbo Biafrans. You will see an Igbo Biafran talking down on Ijo Biafran. You see Ijo Biafran talking down on Efik Biafran. You see Efik Biafran talking down on Calabar Biafran, trying to discourage them. We are still using that same language that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have succeeded in destroying. We try to bring it back again. How long shall you continue to go on that path? How long? This is the damage that the Janjaweed have done in the life of an ordinary Nigerian. They have done enough damage, a lot of damage, that even after we got our freedom, even after we got our independence, we have a lot of work to do. A whole lot of work to do. After our independence, we have a whole lot of work to do. Because the problem that is facing in that country, Janjaweed, we have been contaminated. So contaminated, so much contaminated that it's going to take a long time for us to be able to revive ourselves from the evil. You see people, some of them, they tell you Igbo Biafra love money. Igbo Biafra love money. Igbo Biafrans love money, but when they give you money, you throw it away, right? Igbo Biafrans love money, but when they give you money, when they give you money, do you throw it away? You don't throw it away. But that is the language of the Janjaweed. Because your enemy will not address you in the way people will respect you. Your enemy will always like to demonize you. Instead of them accepting the fact that Igbo Biafrans are hardworking, they don't want to use that language. The language they will use is that Igbo Biafrans they love money. They will tell you Igbo man love money, and people will laugh over it. Biafrans laugh over it. Even Igbo Biafrans tell that to themselves. You see Igbo Biafrans using the same language that Igbos love money. The language of the Janjaweed. Instead of them saying that Igbo man is hardworking, they will not say hardworking. They will say Igbo man love money. But tell me, you that is telling me that Igbo man love money, the people who have been stealing the money of Nigeria, how many people in them, how many among them are Igbos? Among all those who have stolen huge amount of money from Nigeria, how many of them are Igbos? Igbos love money. The criminals that are stealing the money of that contract called Nigeria, how many of them are Igbos? How many of them? The greatest criminal we have in that country, none of them. The greatest criminal we have in that country who have stolen a lot of money. In all angles, greatest one, none of them is Igbo. But they will never remind you about the faithful Igbo ones who have. They will not remind you about the faithful Biafrans that we had. Biafrans who have served and given everything in their life, including their life. Including their life. Who have served and given. Look at Dora Agunyeli. Dora is one example. Dora served, gave his life, gave everything. And even after they killed her, they are still killing the family of Dora. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala served this country to make it better, served to a very great standard. They plan to kill Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, up to the extent of kidnapping her parents. Tell me, what again do you want an Igbo Biafran to do before you can be able to trust them? You say you don't trust them and allow them to go, allow the Biafrans to go. You don't want them to go. They have succeeded in making sure that some Biafrans will be speaking on that same language that the Janjaweed are promoting. You'll be even promoting the same language that the Janjaweed, even Igbos themselves. You see some Igbo Biafrans speaking on the language of the Janjaweed. It's a shame. That is the damage they have done to our brain. And we got a lot of work to do. You see some people, they come on their platform, they'll be talking against Ijaw people. They'll be speaking against Ijaw Biafrans. That is just their own duty, to speak against the Ijaw Biafran, to speak against the Edo Biafran, they speak against the Calabar Biafrans. They claim they are the best. They know it all. You see some Igbo Biafrans, they just, all they want, all they are talking about is just about their own self. They care about themselves, they don't care about any other person. Some of them will form an organization. If you are not their tribe, you cannot lead the organization. An organization that involves Biafrans. But if you are not from a certain tribe, if you are not a certain tribe, maybe if you are not Igbo, you cannot lead that organization. The same system that Jawed is playing. And you think it's okay. You think it's okay. It is high time we wake up. We have to wake up from this sleep. And for those who say they don't know the reason why we have to sit at home, the reason why you have to sit at home is civil disobedience. Since you don't have any representation of people who are going to speak for you, who are going to talk for you, the sit at home will let the world know that you don't have representation, that people, you have been abandoned. That is what the sit at home will show the world. It will show the world that you have been abandoned, you don't have representation, you are crying and begging for support. That is why you have to. Look at a whole lot of Biafrans who are in prison. Recently, people were released, people who have served 15 years for committing no offense. 15 years without competition, not even sorry. Not even sorry. Why? Simply because they are Biafrans. They did not kidnap anybody, they did not ask for ransom, they didn't do any evil, just because they are Biafrans. They were being kidnapped. Kidnapped by the government and held incommunicado for 15 good years. This is why you have to protest. If you don't protest, nobody's going to protest for you. This is why you have to sit at home. If you don't sit at home, nobody will sit at home for you. You see the bombing they are doing in the southeastern part of Nigeria. The bombing they are doing in Biafra land. Nobody is going to stand against that bombing. If you don't sit at home, nobody will stop it. You see what happened in our mama. You see what happened in our mama. Since then, which governor have you seen that have come and made a meaningful statement? Who has fought for you? The military, even as we speak, are still causing mayhem and killing people in the southeastern part of Nigeria. Who is making case? Nobody is making any case for you. Recently, I saw a video online. An accident that was caused in somewhere, I think in the hill also. An accident that was caused by the checkpoint of these evil men. Almost 200 people lost their life. Because police were busy at the road collecting bribe. Police are busy at the road collecting bribe from Biafrans. Collecting bribe from Biafrans to destroy their businesses. In the process, an accident happened. Almost 200 people lost their life in the accident. Nobody is speaking. And people went about their business as if nothing happened. The next thing they did was to go to their barrack and begin to reinforce their people. Because they know that the people will react. They went to their barrack and began to reinforce. How long shall we continue in this path of destruction? We have nobody speaking for us. The only man that is speaking for the ordinary people, the only single person that is speaking for ordinary people, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has been taken away from us. He can't communicate for us directly. He can't communicate for us directly, but he has given us a charge. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have told us what to do if we don't see him. We know everything you are waiting for. Some of them who have said they are waiting for command, they're waiting for this, they're waiting for command. Every command you need to have, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have given it to us before ever he was kidnapped. Before ever he was kidnapped. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu left a lot of messages. He left a lot of messages for you and I. A whole lot of messages that you cannot finish in the next decade. You can't finish it. But some of us are so lazy that we cannot even be able to watch those messages that he kept to us. That is why sometimes when I have my time, I cut the messages into pieces and begin to share. I cut it into pieces and begin to share. Every message you want to hear, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have passed it already. Every information you're waiting for, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have delivered it. Nothing is remaining. He has said it all. That thing you're waiting to hear from him, he has said it. It is in one of his records. Go and check. You will find it. The way to go, the direction to go. This very sit at home that we are having today, this very sit at home, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was the one that initiated the sit at home. He brought it from the furnace of prayer. After Biafran had been killed and killed and killed and killed and killed, Biafran, we can't protest. When we protest the killers, they begin to blame Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is sending people to be killed. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is sending people to kill. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went on his knees and prayed, and Chukwu Okike Abiama revealed to him that we have to be using sit at home to air our opinion. And since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu introduced sit at home, it has been working magic. It has changed a lot of things. Every time we apply sit at home, there has always been change. It is because of that same sit at home. That is why they are talking about political solution. That is why they cannot forget Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in DSS. If you stop sit at home, that means you are telling them to do with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu whatever they want. If you stop sit at home, what you are telling the Janjaweed is to do to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu anything you desire. How can any sensible person stop it? This is a man who has given everything for us. He gave his own family, gave his own comfort, gave his own brain, gave his own parents, gave everything. He gave it for you to be free. And yet, what he's asking, what we are asking, not him asking, left from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he wouldn't even ask you. What we are asking is that let us give him 1 day in a week, one single day in a week until he's been released. Let us give him 1 day in a week until he's been released. 1 day. It is not too much to ask. It is not too much to ask. If you are sensible and meaningful, you will know that it is not too much to ask. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has given so much that he deserves more than what we are giving him. He deserves much more than what we are giving him. And I applaud every Biafran who have sat at home today. There are still so many Biafrans who are speaking the same language of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every Biafran that have participated in the sit at home today. Chukwu Okike Abiama will continue to protect you. You will never lose your life. You will walk into Biafra alive. Every single Biafran that have on his or her own joined the sit at home today, you will walk into Biafra alive and you will celebrate the freedom of Biafra with us. You will raise the flag of Biafra. Nothing will happen to you. You will never lack. Whatever business you have missed today, be Monday, on Tuesday, you are going to sell triple of it. You are going to sell triple. You will never lack. No Biafran person will go hungry because of Monday sit at home. You will never. Don't mind the nonsense they are speaking. Don't mind their selfishness. We are making our point, telling the world that our brother must be released, our husband must be released, our uncle must be released, our leader must be released, the symbol of justice must be released. And this is a cry that everybody has to join. You must not be a Biafra for you to ask for justice. Injustice against one is an injustice against all. You must not be a Biafran before you begin to ask for justice for people who have been oppressed. You must not be a Biafran. Whether you are a Biafran or not a Biafran, so long you are in that contraption called Nigeria, you are an indigenous person. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu fought for you. The fight of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a fight for the freedom of every indigenous tribe in the contraption called Nigeria. Because as soon as Biafra is free, the freedom of Biafra will be infectious. The freedom of Biafra is going to affect every single indigenous tribe in that contraption. It will affect everybody. That is why we must not stop. We must not stop this statute until he's been released. We are not saying that those who want to go on political solutions should stop. Since they feel that is the best thing they can do, they should go ahead. Go ahead, we want result. We want result. But those of us who are embarking on civil disobedience, we will continue the civil disobedience until we see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The only man that can give a broadcast that will stop the civil disobedience is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Any day we see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Afaruku, and he speaks to us the way he used to speak, in a loud voice, and he tells us to stop, we will stop. And they know it. They know it. It's not a joke. It's not a propaganda. Any day we see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come out and tell us to stop, we will put a stop to it. And we'll take another direction. We must have to continue. It doesn't matter their propaganda. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They are still going to come with different angles. Already they are coming. You see? Biafrans, we have to wake up. We have to wake up. When we are entering next year, next year they are going to come with their campaign to confuse people. And so many people who you are seeing now talking about freedom, if care is not taken, most of them will forget about freedom. That is why we have to continue flooding the social media with the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We have to continue to flood the social media with the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we have to continue to flood it, flood social media with it. Continue to make that demand. We will continue to make demand for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It doesn't matter what anybody is saying or what anybody is thinking. That is our fight. The only thing that matters to you and I today is the release of the freedom of justice, symbol of justice. That is what matters to every well-meaning person today. The release of the symbol of justice. They should release the symbol of justice to us. We want justice. Let justice be given to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has not done any evil. He has not committed any crime. Somebody who lesser offense was committed in his house has gotten justice. 20 billion awarded to him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, 28 people were mauled down. 28 Biafran strong soldiers were mauled down. Not because they were fighting military. So many of us saw that when it was happening. I was watching it live. The attack in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's home. I watched it live. So many of you watch it live. But up till now, even a judge in Biafra land cannot give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu justice. Why? Why? Ask yourself why. That is why we say we don't want to be part of this contraption anymore. We don't want to be part of this contraption. A contraption that can never, that has nothing to offer to us. A contraption that made us third-class citizens, not even second, third-class citizens. They don't even want us to exist at all. How can any sensible person be calling himself part of it, addressing him or herself as a Nigerian? May Chukwu Okike have mercy and grant us that wisdom so that we'll begin to pursue that which is right. May Chukwu Okike give us the grace to pursue that which is right, to speak up for the right thing and continue to pursue our and demand for our freedom. We cannot sell our birthright for a pot of porridge. We cannot. We can't afford to do that. We are fighting for the future of our born children and for our generation to come, and we will continue to fight. No matter what it takes, our children will not suffer what we are suffering now in the name of Chukwu Okike. I thank you all who have connected from all angles. Please, we have to continue. Anything you can do to make sure that that very contraption is uncomfortable for those politicians, more especially in the Southeast. Anything you can do to make sure that those people who call themselves elites are not comfortable, continue to do that. Sit at home is one of it. Continue to join the sit at home and support it by all means possible. We will surely be free. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. We will be free. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are watching from. I will see you again tomorrow. Remain blessed and stay safe. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect everyone that has participated on the sit at home. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect everyone that is genuinely fighting for the freedom of his or her own people. It doesn't matter your tribe. It doesn't matter the location you are. So long you are fighting for that which is right, Chukwu Okike will protect you. Thank you so much for watching. And remain blessed. Bye-bye. See you again tomorrow.